There are so many interesting, horrifying, or downright weird things in this big world of ours.
Each week, we'll bring you a new true crime story that has little to no coverage in English.
Let us do the translations, so you don't have to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We decided to just start without introduction, so now you all have to
Guess.
remember who is who.
Yes, because I think we have pretty distinct voices, the three of us.
And different accents and everything. So
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
you should know by now if you've been listening. So I brought a case today, but we also just realized that we kind of messed up the order. Or I somehow skipped.
Or did we
one.
just do recordings kind of weird, and then we just put them in a weird order? That could have been it.
Because my last case was, wait a second, it was the poisoner.
Yeah, a Polisoc, or right.
That came out in February 23rd. And then we had the news tangent. Then Petra had the tooth murderer.
Yeah. And then I had John as well. Yeah.
Yes. Then another news tangent. Then we did a documentary tangent, which was new. And someone gave us a comment that because it was about OJ.
Yeah.
And someone said, so OJ was not covered in English. No,
it wasn't.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
But what if we had a strategy that if we cover some case that happened in an English-speaking country, we would use only non-English sources for that? Kind of what was the take of this American murder in Sweden?
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting, yeah. Sure.
I mean, here the whole point was that, okay, we'll watch some documentaries and talk about them. So there we did not really focus on.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a troll account because I checked out their profile and it was no activity and it had a freedom and an eagle and an American flag, and it was very...
But why would a troll account come and comment on our episode?
I don't know.
But also the other thing is maybe we just pissed this person off so much that they never commented on anything before, and now they were like, what the fuck?
True.
I wanted a podcast that is specifically about non-English cases. Why did I have to listen O.J. Simpson case? I am very angry.
Because we forced him to do.
Okay.
We forced him to listen to it.
Yes.
But then, we were kind of...
so sorry.
Yeah. And then, I mean, in the next documentary tangent, we were like, yeah, since Victoria's been so busy with her fucking PhD thesis, defense, maybe that's the reason why we're taking it kind of easier. We're still giving you content. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I our description is that non-English, and that was English,
But I did put in the description this time around for the Gabby Petito case. I did put, we're strained from our usual, or something like this, strained from our usual programming by covering an English case or blankety blank. So eat shit, man. Or don't.
Content warning.
Yes.
We probably don't have to explain ourselves. But it was just funny that we rarely get comments. We don't get too many. And then we get this how dare you?
Not even oh, thanks for covering cases that aren't in English, and then negative.
But that's
lots of negative. Yeah.
So, okay, wait. So this was off topic. But so we had the OJ documentary tangent, and then we had Petra's case again.
I'm sorry that everybody had to listen so much to me.
And then the Gabby Petito documentary tangent. I hear Eddie.
Oh, I was just about to say, God damn it. Okay, Eddie, you're okay.
Hi, Eddie.
Go to bed. You can go to bed. Go to bed. Why? Don't look at me like that. He's doing the head tilts. What?
He wanted to say something about this rude person.
Yes, he wants to bite their balls off, I guess, probably.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, finally I'm back with another case.
Woo!
today.
Yeah, we just gave it too easy because you were preparing for your defense.
Yes, and we also mentioned it, I think, during the Gabby Petito documentary tangent, that by the time you will be listening to this, it's already done. And yes, it's done. I survived it. It was fun.
Yes.
It's all behind us now.
It was pretty interesting looking at your stress, though, right? With the Oura ring.
Yeah, but I actually meant to start kind of like you can do this like unguided session that is kind of meant for maybe like meditation or something, but it records different types of data continuously during that session, because otherwise, for example, the stress data is sampled every 15 minutes, I think. So that would have been continuous.
Yeah.
But I forgot, or I actually left my phone somewhere else. And then anyway, I didn't start it. But yes, I was stressed, which is not surprising. Yeah.
But you did well. I watched and it was good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. That's it about the defense. Now let's go to murder.
Woo!
So actually have a pretty kind of, in a way, traditional type of case. It's a serial killer case, let's say. And it's one of those, like, you know that there are different types of serial killers, like in terms of what kind of motive they have.
Yeah.
And probably the worst type is the type that is this kind of fantasy motivated, like pleasure motivated serial killer.
I think the worst one would be like where there's no clear motive, like this Israel Keys. That's scarier because like at least you can be like, I don't fit the profile, I'm safe, or whatever. But then there's like the random dude just randomly killing people and you don't know why he's killing them, and they just...
But that's also, I think that kind of falls into this category that they just want to do it, they enjoy killing people.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have financial reasons or I don't know, something like that. Or maybe
could be. Yeah, true.
What are other types? Financial reasons would be one.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's lots of motives, or like sexual motivation, but then it's all falling under fantasy in a way. So
revenge.
Yeah.
I don't know how usual it is, but like kind of like I hate this type of people, I will kill lots of them.
Yeah. Well, that could be one.
Yeah.
But so there's this like kind of category of serial killer who just wants to kill people, maybe a specific type of people, because they enjoy doing it. I think in like Hungarian criminal history, there are not like so many of these kind of serial killers, but there's a few. And actually in episode 2, I talked about one of them, the Monster of Martfő, if you remember.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that was an
older panel
case.
Buildings. Yes, we went on tangents about panel buildings.
Oh yeah, there are so many other cases in that book that I should still read that book. Finish reading it. I read a part of it. Oh, off topic, kind of, not really. It's still about crime.
Tangent.
I started reading another book on the plane when I was coming back from Hungary. I bought the book last year. It's about the Tinder swindler.
Yes.
Yeah. No, there was this documentary about a guy who scammed, like this kind of love scams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretended that he's this like rich guy and
then he'd use their money basically. Like he would scam people and he'd be like, I'm rich. And he'd use that money to then scam the next person. So he'd book actually like a private jet with someone else's money. And then he'd end up like looping that person in and then giving like basically...
Like a pyramid scheme.
Kind of, yeah.
But just
multi-layer marketing, multi-layer scam.
But like there's one person and there's multiple people just down below him on one level. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he made that person, like the current one, take a loan or something and pretended that his life is in danger or something. Yeah. And by that time they had a pretty close, like romantic relationship. So
we're going to move in together, or
So he actually put a lot of effort into this and went for trips and started planning their wedding and whatever. So by that time, like many months into the relationship, the person is like, oh, okay, I need to help my partner, so I'm going to get this loan or something. because their life is in danger. So then they give them the money, and then he disappears and starts scamming the next person. So there was a documentary, and there's a crime journalist, Kata Janecsko, Hungarian person, who started collecting similar cases from Hungary. And she wrote a book about this.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool book. So I started reading that, and I will probably bring at least one case from there.
Sounds good.
Okay, serial killers. So this guy also has like a similar kind of name used in news articles, like the monster of Martfő. This would be the monster of Százhalombatta, which is a smaller town close to Budapest, not too far from Budapest. Do you want me to put this in the chat for you?
I was trying to spell it in my mind because, like, now I'm kind of learning Hungarian a little bit, but then I was like, shit. Oh, God.
I tried to translate this for you. It's a bit difficult, but Száz means 100. And halom is... So the official term that I found on Wikipedia was tumulus. Do you know what that is? Mound of earth and stones. Mount of earth and stones raised over a grave.
Say that again. What's the word? Tumulus. Tumulus.
Tumulu. What? Tumulus.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this, like grave thing.
Yeah.
Like
little, like a cairn or something. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yes.
I think. But I heard bituminous is like bituminous coal. Okay. Yes. Oh, Jesus. 100.
Yeah. And the batta part, I did not really find what that means. I don't know. So anyway, it's referring probably to like a grave. Yeah. Oh, you actually wrote it down.
Yeah.
And you remembered it. What? Okay, but here it is in the chat.
I almost got it right, except for the accent was on the wrong A. God damn it. Okay.
Well, I think that's... You still get
I put it on the halom instead of thought. Okay, anyway, but I did spell it right otherwise. Fuck yeah.
That's very admirable. I don't even know how you did that.
Spelling contest for Hungarian words.
I always found that so funny that Americans do these spelling contests.
Yeah.
I think with Finnish or Hungarian, it's kind of pronounced
stupid.
How you write it down.
Yeah. Like I've never heard.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay, so this guy, his name is Lajos Balogh. He is regarded as one of Hungarian's most brutal and dangerous serial killers. And it's a pretty horrible case, so I'm sorry. I mean, we had some horrible cases recently, but this is also a bad one. So this guy, Lajos, was born in 1966. So he's, I don't know, someone calculate how old he is now. He's not that old.
Wait, say that? 1996?
66.
Oh, 66.
No, 66.
He's 59.
Yeah. He grew up, I don't know. So the storyline of this case kind of focuses on this guy who is not a nice person. And of course, now we get to the ethics of why is the bad guy the center of the story and not the victims. So let's try to, not be nice with him because he's not a nice guy. But it's kind of, we don't know that much about the victims themselves. I mean, I found the names. It's not a very old case, so maybe it's better not to say the names because they have relatives and everything. But yeah, so I'll just say a little bit about his childhood because, that's always something that some of these serial killers try to hide behind, that they had a bad childhood, which is true for this guy as well. But I mean, lots of people do, right?
And they still don't commit murder.
Yeah. But apparently he grew up in a very dysfunctional and violent household. His father was very abusive, emotionally and physically as well. And he also was kind of a violent child. I found it in one source that the first documented act of violence from him took place when he was 8 years old, when he beat his 4-year-old cousin half to death for no reason. So just very badly beat his 4-year-old cousin. I only found this in one article, so sometimes it's kind of hard to say, if this really happened or someone just, But anyway, he had some violent tendencies early on. Reportedly, he has a very high IQ, around 140.
Where did they measure that?
I don't know. But I mean, I can tell you now, spoiler alert, he is in prison. So maybe there.
Yeah.
And as a profession, he was a painter, decorator. So like a painter who's painting rooms and houses, not like an artist kind of painter. He married his wife in 1987, and they had known each other since childhood. They had one child together, one daughter. He had a lot of kind of criminal cases, issues early on during their relationship. He was convicted of attempted robbery and theft sometime around the time that they got together or they got married, and he ended up being in prison for, I think he was sentenced to 2.5 years, but was released early. He was a little bit of a problematic person throughout his life. But I mean, that was not murder, just robbery. But generally, people described him as someone who is kind of violent. He saw himself as this dominant leader within his family and close circle. He had strict expectations on different family members, and he also expected everyone to adhere to specific behavioral norms. So he was this like tyrant type of person. But kind of on the outside, so to people who didn't know him that well, he appeared to be, like a calm, socially integrated person. So he was able to mask this kind of well otherwise. But he was also described as someone who was kind of revengeful and tended to react extremely to things. So the next thing that we know about him is already related to his first victim. So he ended up murdering several people. And the first one was in 1994. His first victim was his own 16-year-old sister-in-law, who was his wife's younger sister. It was just like, okay, I'll just tell you what happened. It's a little bit hard to wrap your head around how someone would, end up deciding things the way he did. So he really disliked this sister-in-law because she was a teenager, right? 16 years old. And he found her to be often like kind of disrespectful and sarcastic and arrogant with her family. And he always he was annoyed by how she talked to her parents, like a teenager tends to do.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, like a teenager.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then the final trigger that annoyed him too much about her is that they had a family gathering where she was there, and also Balogh was there, so our main character here. And they were working on some, like painting the house or something. They were doing something together with the family, and then she again kind of, I don't know, acted disrespectfully towards her parents. And then he described it as, at that time, he decided that, okay, she has to be punished for this behavior. And he thought that, okay, I have to kill her. That's the only way to deal with this situation.
And this guy at this point has like committed robbery.
Yeah.
Like very
well, I mean, he was
moral to catch.
Yeah, it seems like he was always kind of violent. Like he beat up people, he went to prison. But this was the first time, I think he may have been fantasizing about killing people before. And this was just kind of an excuse or a good way to find the first victim. And I think
it's
this is
not
just
really about moral, like, oh, she's disrespectful, but more like, oh, this person irritates me. Now I can accomplish my fantasies.
Yeah. And I don't know about this case, but the other ones at least might be true for this one as well, also had a kind of a sexual component. So I don't know if this was, because I think it's kind of the way he told this story afterwards, right? That was his problem with her, that she was so arrogant and sarcastic all the time. So this might have been, just kind of a way, like a kind of a stupid excuse that he came up with.
I think his lack, I don't know, his psyche or whatever, like this kind of reminds me of this podcast I'm listening to, Killer Psyche, where there's this FBI behavioralist or what is it, like retired FBI agent where she worked as worked in the FBI, and she profiled people and it was, she's pretty interesting. So she gives kind of like these psychological aspects of like killers and serial killers and whatever. And like, what would she label this dude as? I don't know, something to do with like the controlling aspect. Like, would he have like obsessive compulsive personality disorder or something like that? I wonder. Like people that need to have it a certain way and like in their mind, and and his need
Also
for control, of course.
Also sounds like his own father might have been similar. He was also this like very like dominant, also very abusive figure in the family, and then he kind of became like that, but worse. He also has some stories about his father that he's talking about later in interviews, which are not great, but also not an excuse. Okay. So
but I'm guessing there must be some type of personality disorders in there somewhere.
Yes, definitely. So I have more info about what happened with this first victim. It's very bad, so I'm not gonna kind of tell you all the details of what happened to her, but just kind of the important part. So this was, I think, May 4th, 1994, when they were gathered in this house to help with painting his brother-in-law's home, and that's when he decided that he should kill her. And how he describes it later is that she actually mentioned that she doesn't feel like going to school the next day. So he kind of used that and told her that, hey, do you want to... This was in another city, not in Százhalombatta, but another close by city where the family lived. So he was telling her that, oh, why don't you come meet me tomorrow in Százhalombatta and we can spend the day together. I don't know what the plan was, but she agreed.
But weren't other people around? Like, also, like in the family, like that would be kind of weird.
Not
like
when they described this.
Okay.
Or not when they were kind of chatting about this.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I was kind of thinking that what was the plan? What are they going to do?
Yeah. 28-year-old and a 16-year-old.
It was 28. Okay, thanks for calculating that.
Yeah.
So she agreed. They met up the next day at 8:30 in the morning. I think she was maybe pretending that she's going to school, but then actually she went to meet this guy. And by the time they met, he was already prepared to murder her. He had a sharpened wallpapering scissor in his bag, some sort of a cloth for gagging or restraint, and also a belt, probably for, strangulation or whatever. So he had all of this stuff. Yeah, he had all of this stuff prepared in his bag. And then they met up, and it was like not super nice weather, but he still convinced her to take a walk in the forest.
But I mean, it's your sister's husband. Why would you suspect anything? You're like, well, it's a family member. Maybe she was like, nice to actually spend time with someone I don't usually spend that much time with.
Or maybe he seemed like this kind of cool guy, like a bad guy, but also kind of cool in a way.
And like 28 is still young. It's not like you're hanging out with a 50-year-old. Like, it's like this cool adult age still. Or I don't know. But if I think I would be 16, it's not. You would think that maybe they can tell you cool stuff. Maybe they can give you a cigarette. Who knows?
Yeah. She was a teenager. She didn't feel like going to school. This seemed like a more fun activity. So he did not, like, he was clearly just planning to kill her already. So they met up, they went to the forest, and he basically attacked her there. And there are some quotes from the guy, that how he describes it later. He says, "When I murdered my sister-in-law, I really enjoyed it, which is why I dragged it out for hours. Several times she lost consciousness, but I revived her. We played this game 3 or 4 times. Quote unquote game.
Fucking fucker.
So basically he tortured her.
Yes. Yeah. So this was his first murder. Kind of.
Did he sexually assault her? Or
I would say probably, but it's not clear with this case whether he did or not.
Like, so based on other cases, you mean, like further cases, he usually sexually assaults his victim. Okay.
Yeah.
And do we know the sister's name, or like the 16-year-old's name, or?
I found it in some articles from the time, in like the printed news articles. The names of the victims were not used in the more recent news articles, so I kind of figured that maybe I shouldn't say the names.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. I guess I could have written down the first names at least.
Nah, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
so yes.
But I'm just like, with the whole, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other serial killers that have like usually drawn out or played out, or like this kind of cat and mouse game, you know, like it's just pretty fucked up. Like it's I wonder if he took any trophies, or did he also just?
Well, there's no info about trophies at all, so I would guess no.
Okay.
But yeah, so he tortured her really badly, and in some articles. Oops. I dropped my earbuds.
You could have just blamed it on Meadow or Tony. Like,
they're not here. Okay, but in case you cut this out because of the noise, what was I saying? He tortured her for a long time. And also, it was actually described in detail in some of the articles. What are the things that he did with the scissor and the other things, which I'm not going to repeat. It was bad. And so he was checking her pulse and making sure that she is, not dead yet, and that kind of stuff. There's another quote from him. He says that, "When I started the act itself, I was probably more afraid than the victim. I was practically shaking, but by the time I was done, I was really enjoying it. So much so that when she died, I felt sorry, not for her, but because it was over."
Wow. And I'm wondering if the shaking wasn't because of like being scared. It was more of like anticipation, like this kind of adrenaline rush. Because I think a lot of people, don't they say that like some other serial killers, that they get shaky or whatever. I'm trying to remember, was it, I think it was even the if I'm not mistaken, it was a Zodiac killer or something. At least like one person had said, "Oh, are you shaking?" or something like that. Like, "Oh, you're shaking a little bit." So they're trying to like build rapport, like, "Oh, they're nervous." But I think that it could also be taken as they're really excited, like shakily excited in the
act.
If
it's true that for this guy, this was the first murder like this, at least.
Yes.
It might just also show that he has been fantasizing about doing something like this for a long time. And he was really, like, he might have been actually, nervous about it.
Yeah.
But also just adrenaline and...
But fucking hell, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's bad. So the next day, when his mother-in-law called him that the sister-in-law is missing, like her daughter is missing.
Yes.
And she was crying, and they were like, "Where is she?" The family was really worried. He immediately offered to help with the search.
Of course he did, because that's what they always do. They insert themselves into the searches.
Yeah.
Great.
But maybe they were not immediately looking around in this other town. So he hid her body in this sand mine.
Mm-hmm. Like a sand pit or something, or like a gravel pit, but with sand, or
Sand quarry.
yeah, sand quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is how I translated it. But anyway, it was like close to that forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe the police was not looking for her in that city, even though they were close by, but she was not supposed to be there. She was supposed to be at school. And anyway, so
Yeah,
she
of
was
course, you
not
would
found for a
start
while.
from neighborhoods and
Yeah.
school around. And
Yeah.
So this was in 94. And then after this, a little bit later, oh yeah, yes. So a few days after this murder, he was really excited about this, of course.
Mhm.
And he couldn't resist bragging about what he did to someone. So he actually told his brother named Tibor, which is the only sibling that he stayed in contact with. He might have had other siblings. And Tibor was like younger than him. I don't know exactly how much younger, but he was a younger guy. And he really idolized his older brother. And so it kind of just boosted his status in his younger brother's eye that, oh my God, my brother murdered someone. It's so
Are you
cool.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
So the police didn't really, they didn't find the victim for a while. So he kind of felt like, he is invincible. He
I
can
know
do
something
whatever.
you know kind of aspect.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Fucker.
So because he felt like super powerful and well respected and whatever, like such a cool guy because he did all of this. And he also had crimes before. He had this idea, like Balogh had this idea. I mean, both of them are Baloghs. So
Yeah, that's
Lajos,
yeah.
yeah, had this idea of forming a gang to commit robberies and also kill people if needed. So he recruited his younger brother, Tibor, and another young man, they're like a friend of them called Christian, to form this gang. And he was like the leader of this gang, and he came up with like a loyalty test. He told the two other guys that they should each kill someone to prove that they are loyal to him, and also if they do, then everyone will know about the other person having killed someone, so they cannot go to the police because they
It's
all
like
have something to
typical
hide.
gang stuff, basically. They do this in gangs nowadays too.
Yeah.
this is
Initiation
so
rites.
random. Like, I don't know. This is not my impression on how gangs are usually. Like, you're not just like, I want a hobby. Should I make up a gang?
No, but I mean just like gangs that like if you're in a gang, then you're initiated in after you do some horrible act. But yeah.
But like this case that he was just like, I'm a cool guy. All I need is a gang. Like,
Yeah.
he's living in such a
Probably he
fantasy
didn't-
world.
I was going to say he probably didn't have a job, but I mean, he had this like, by profession, he was, a painter. Like he was, I don't know if he had like a regular job, but he wanted money from these robberies. And
Yeah, I'm sure
he was just into crime in general.
Yeah, and painter is not a job that you probably get rich from. So,
or like high status or whatever. Like people think, oh, that's a cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
think
also,
painters
if
are
it's-
cool,
in his
but-
world,
Yeah.
I would think a painter is a cool guy
Yeah.
rather than
But if it's
robber.
true that he
Yeah.
really has such a high IQ, maybe, he just thought that he needs to do bigger things, and somehow he had this like really has head anyway. It's like a very twisted way of thinking, and I don't know, just very distorted personality, probably partly from the abuse, but anyway, not an excuse, of course. Okay, so they randomly chose between the two guys which one is the first that has to kill someone, right? So this was still in 94, and so it was the first one that they chose was Christian, so the friend who had to murder a person, and he told them that it can be anyone, just pick someone. He picked, and this is also weird, a 14-year-old girl, 14, And in one of the news articles from the time, it said 13. So it might have been that she just turned 14.
Oh, God.
And it said that the ex-girlfriend of this Christian, how can she be his ex-girlfriend?
I mean, how old is this Christian? An adult, anyway.
I guess it might have been, maybe he was like 18 or something. I don't know the exact ages. Yeah. They were younger than Lajos.
The fuck?
So he picked this girl, and he got 5 days to prove his loyalty and murder her. Laura, do you need to do? Okay, yeah. I'll wait.
Some dog things happening.
Eddie was being a noisy boy. Okay.
Yeah, I heard some barks.
Yeah.
Okay, so he got 5 days. So this is what went down. Eddie.
1 second.
So
5 days.
5 days. So this is what went down. Christian and Tibor, yet the younger brother, they decided to lure this girl to the forest, same forest in Százhalombatta, under the pretense of shooting with air rifles. So they just told her that we're going to shoot with air rifles. Come with us. It's so cool. And she was like, sure. Why not?
I mean, that sounds fun to me. Yeah. Yeah.
So at like a clearing near this sand quarry, they were all there, and Lajos was also there. And he gave them a signal to kill her. But neither of the other guys actually followed through, because they just, they were like, yeah, we can kill her. And then when the actual time came that now they should do it, they were like, maybe not.
Mm.
So Balogh got really angry with them. And he, like, it was something that people said about him, that he has this very explosive, like, reactions and extreme stuff. So he got like really angry that they didn't want to follow through, and he just ended up stabbing her with something that they had bought. I don't know if it was a scissor or a knife, in her abdomen, and tied her hands and dragged her to the quarry. And his brother was actually, already like not so sure that this was such a good plan. So he was kind of objecting that they should not do this. So his older brother, Lajos, he sent him home, or sent him away. And he was left alone just with the girl and the other guy, Christian. So this is one of the cases where they admitted that Balogh sexually abused her after already stabbing her. And the other guy was there, but there was a time when he was supposed to now finally kill her, but he didn't want to do it still. So Balogh ended up stabbing her multiple times, and also took some rocks from this place and crushed her head with them. So it was also a very horrible, torturous scene, like the previous one.
And was this Christian guy there?
He was there
all the time.
He was there, yeah, but he didn't kill her,
But he didn't stop him.
No. So he was there, and his younger brother, this Tibor guy, he went home.
I would have gone to the police if I was Tibor, but sure, yeah, makes sense.
No, but of course he didn't, because
I know he thinks he's like, yeah. I mean, if you're thinking, okay, this guy has this psychology or whatever, then the younger brother also might have like a little bit similar. I mean, if the dad was abusive mentally and physically, I kind of get it a little bit, but at the same time, murder's not cool, man.
No, of course.
Also, this is like, it's like there's this contradiction that they are like, maybe we actually shouldn't kill her.
Yeah.
But still the little brother is not like, okay, I'm going to report this.
Yeah.
And also the Christian guy is not like, okay, I'm going to stop you from killing her.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't want to do it, but I'm not going to do anything to stop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It kind of sounds like they were like, yeah, we can kill people. We are so cool. Yeah, we can do it. And then when they actually get to the point when they should do it, it turns out that it's not that easy, right?
Probably human nature actually doesn't let you kill other humans easily.
Yeah.
Like for most humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this time, the police or the people in the town, they didn't know that there's a dangerous killer among them because they hid both of the girls' bodies in the sand pit in that area. And the police investigation was still focused on finding Balogh's wife's sister. But so there was an investigation, but they didn't find either of them. So around this time, Balogh ended up, I don't know if they got a divorce, but they separated with his wife. And the wife moved back to her parents with their daughter. We don't really know who left who, but in one of the interviews later on, Balogh was saying that he had to leave them because he found himself constantly fantasizing about murdering his wife. Like they were in bed, he was watching TV, his wife was sleeping next to him, and he was kind of like thinking about that. How nice would it be to kill her? He didn't, but then he was like, okay, I need to leave them because otherwise I will do it because I just can't contain myself.
But why?
So thoughtful.
Why did he want to stop himself from doing it? That's the question of his weird moral ethics.
I mean, in a way, I guess he probably loved her, right? I don't know.
Can he feel love? Or
I don't know, but somehow he was emotionally attached, and they also had a daughter together.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to kill them.
And maybe also, like, that would be quite a risk to get caught. Like, if you kill your... Like, the husband is often one of the main suspects.
Yeah, yes. So around this time, he was already living alone, and this was not long after the previous murder. So the gang was still, together, despite that the previous plan did not go as they wanted to.
And the gang members hadn't done their loyalty proof.
But so Balogh had this great idea that they should start kidnapping people and ask for ransom to get money. So what he ended up doing, which was probably a bad idea, he first thought that what if he would just call his wife's parents and ask for ransom for releasing the, already long murdered sister of his wife.
What a dumbass.
Yeah. She was like, she had been dead for a long time. And he was like, okay, they are still searching for her, so I can just call and ask for money. But the parents didn't give him money. They didn't know who he was. So he tried to alter his voice or something. He called from a public phone booth. But they didn't give any money. They just reported this to the police.
So how long time are we talking about? A couple of months
so
or a year?
Yeah, I think it was a couple of months, because then there's another case which is at the beginning of 95, and the sister-in-law was murdered in the spring of 94. So this was some months after that.
Because I think usually the pattern would be that if someone is kidnapped, that the ransom call
comes immediately.
Yeah.
Actually, I can tell you.
Yeah.
It was in September.
Okay. So I understand the parents. They must have been like, yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
Prank call, basically. Yeah.
He ended up calling them 3 times, September 2nd, 5th, and 6th, from the same public phone booth. And so because the parents reported this to the police, they were able to trace back the call to this public phone booth in Százhalombatta. And he became a suspect, which is not surprising. It's not a huge town.
Yeah.
So the police questioned him, and they also did a voice analysis of the calls and compare it to his voice, and it was an 85% match. But this was like circumstantial evidence, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't 100%, and they didn't have any other evidence. They didn't have a body or anything. But he was already like pretty suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So this was September. And, but anyway, he still felt like, I'm not arrested. I'm fine. So let's just continue our gang plans. So they continued planning some more crimes with his gang. And around, like sometime around that time, he also managed to get a gun. And they had the great idea of robbing some jewelry store using the gun. So they planned it for a certain day. I think this was 23rd of January, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow it didn't work out because there were too many people around the jewelry store. So he called it off last minute. And on the same night, when they were planning this robbery, that was canceled. So they planned to meet up in the same forest where they usually did before to kind of discuss what happened and what should they do better, right, to rob the store. Unfortunately, when the three of them were in the forest, two young women showed up. They were jogging. They were just jogging in the forest, two 20-year-old women.
No.
Yeah.
So these guys are like, yeah, we're doing this retrospective of our failed robbery, but wait a minute.
Two women. Let's kill them. Let's attack them. So that's what they did. They attacked and robbed them. And they also took them to the same like sand pit where they did with the previous girls. And Balogh, ended up sexually assaulting both of them.
But was it again him who murdered, not the other guys?
Yes, and also the other guys didn't rape them in any of the previous cases, only him.
I mean, is this confirmed though? I mean, like it's all because I mean, if I was this like
it's just how they tell the story.
Yeah, but if I was like this Lajos guy, I would be like, okay, yeah, I did it all. Like I'm the mastermind. None of these other like I'm more powerful. I'm more fucked up than these guys. Like I'm the. But
he said that while he did this, the other two guys stayed behind. But then his brother, so in this case, his brother joined him again later, and they shot both of the girls from close range. But then they didn't die immediately, so of course he ended up torturing them for a while until they eventually did die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. There are no more murders.
Okay, so 4.
Yes.
That we know of.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Okay.
This guy just feels like a very badly written crime series character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yes.
Yeah, like the motive isn't clear in my mind. The motive isn't clear. It's not. Yeah, it's just like someone who's writing a really bad villain in a series or something.
He will talk about it a bit more in interviews. I brought a few more quotes so I can, tell you what he said. But so 2 days later, January 25th, 1995, the police questioned Lajos as a witness in the ransom case. By that time, they already knew about this 85% match of the voice samples. And they also found the bodies of the girls.
How?
If they found.
That's interesting.
Like they were searching in the meantime, and they also just happened to find them by this time.
I guess now that they had the call, maybe they were able to target the Százhalombatta.
Százhalombatta.
Yeah. Maybe it could have been because of the call, because he knew that it came from a public phone booth, so there might be a connection.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. That's not, written down in that much detail in the articles that I found.
Mm-hmm.
But they found the bodies of these two girls, I think, and then also the sister's body. And actually, there was some mention about that Lajos and his brother Tibor, when sometime before they found the sister-in-law's body, they went back to the same place and tried to like dissolve her body with some chemicals, like get rid of her somehow so she wouldn't be found. But I don't think they succeeded fully.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that as well. But anyway, so they found the bodies, and they also kind of had this voice match and everything. So the police kind of knew that it must be this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they arrested him. And he actually agreed to undergo a polygraph test and also more like kind of voice tests. But the police had an idea that he might want to talk about what he did, right? He might want to actually brag about this, and he might open up to a female. So they had this criminal psychologist sent in to talk to him, and he actually like pretty quickly ended up confessing to the murders. So it didn't take her very long.
Yeah.
And he was saying something like, it's important that they know what I did and why I did it. So apparently during his testimony, he also confessed to 2 more murders. But I think the police started looking into that. But those were not proven, or they didn't find any evidence of those other 2 cases.
Okay. Like they did it, this, but like were these people existing and dead?
I think I don't know. That's all I know, that they started looking into that, but kind of didn't really find any signs. Later, I can tell you this part later. So he confessed. It was kind of straightforward. The trial, he was sentenced to life imprisonment, which at the time in Hungary, we talked about this in some of the earlier cases. I don't remember now the exact year when it changed, but at the time when he was sentenced, under Hungarian law, life imprisonment meant that the person is eligible for parole after 25 years. So it wasn't without the possibility of parole, was not an option then. There was always this 25-year review option, right?
But I'm guessing with this review, he would fail it no matter what, because it's pathological.
I mean, it has been more than 25 years after that, so you will find out soon.
Oh, fuck, no.
No, I think it was revealed that he's in jail currently.
Yes, he's in jail. Yeah, you said.
Okay, damn it, I spoiled it.
Yeah, yes. I was like, no, fuck.
His younger brother, Tibor, sorry, I was like, wait, which one was it? His younger brother received 13 years.
Okay, I'm glad that they actually convicted the brother. And what about Christian, the
Christian
friend?
Got 8 years.
Okay. But I feel like they should have been reversed, right? I mean, Christian was like more around, like according to the accounts, Christian was more around and watching and stuff, right? I mean,
but in the double murder case with the joggers, then it was his brother who went there when they killed them. So I don't know.
Okay, okay.
Both of them were involved.
Yeah,
I don't really understand the difference. Like 5-year difference.
Probably if we read the like court papers in detail, it would make sense why there's the difference of.
Yeah. Or maybe there was even like a deal or something, if testimony or
maybe,
whatever.
Yeah. But Balogh was very like kind of arrogant during the whole trial. He didn't show any remorse. He was kind of just bragging about his actions. I think at first he was sent to the Star prison in Szeged that I talked about before. So my hometown, great. There's this maximum security prison there. And then I think nowadays, you already know that he's still in prison. He's in Budapest, I think. He had some incidents also in prison. He physically attacked another inmate, which extended his parole eligibility by 5 years.
Okay.
So it was 30 years. And he also spent time in solitary confinement because he was violent. And so for a long time, he didn't want to talk to the media. And then I don't know exactly, I could have looked it up. A while later, he gave some interviews. And in those first interviews, so there are like some interviews in prison a while after he was already in there. And there are some more recent ones from a few years ago. And he acts very differently in those interviews. So in the earlier ones, he was very arrogant. He was like he didn't show like any remorse. He was just saying that he wanted to see what it was like to kill, and he was always kind of referring to himself as a gyilkos, which is kind of pleasure killer. A kind of like this fantasy motivated killer.
Yeah.
He said, I consider myself a pleasure killer. The first one didn't start out that way, the sister-in-law. But when I murdered my sister-in-law, I really enjoyed it, which is why I dragged it out for hours. And then that he was like, oh my God, this is great. I need to do this more often. And he also said stuff like he would, if he was released, he would like kill more people immediately and like do outrageous stuff. And yeah.
I feel like if he was such high IQ, because, you know, you have like Ed Kemper, you know, where he was like, like he killed his grandparents, for instance, when he was younger. He shot both of them. And then he went into this psychiatric facility and he had such a high IQ that he was like, oh, I'm just going to fake out like the psychologist or the psychiatrist and stuff, like on these tests. I know, like he even broke in and like memorized the kind of answers, or like, how should I answer these questions so I can get out quicker, you know, even though that's not what he actually felt. He was able to lie and deceive these people who were giving him evaluations. So you'd think that if this guy was such a high IQ, like, but he just can't help himself, which is the funny part. He just,
I think he was
help himself.
different. He, when you look at him or listen to him talk in the interviews, he doesn't seem like a genius or anything, but he does seem to be an intelligent person.
Yeah.
And he was also, it was almost like, he seems very narcissistic. It seemed like he kind of thinks that he is kind of a god. He has no respect for human life. He can do whatever he wants. And he just like enjoyed doing these things. So he did them. And like fuck everyone. Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know how much IQ tells about someone in the end. Like it's just a test you do, but it still doesn't mean that you are necessarily good with this kind of, like what you describe about the other guy with like planning this social strategy. But yeah.
And also this IQ thing, it's brought up in several articles. I don't know where, you know, what's the exact source.
Maybe he was the one who perpetuated his high IQ. I could imagine him like, I have 145 or whatever. Like, wasn't Einstein 150 or 145 or something? Yeah, I'm like Einstein level intelligence. And
I don't know. I guess they must have done some tests. And it's not like he seems to be a dumb person. Like he seems kind of intelligent, but there's a more recent interview from either 2022 or 3.
Okay.
In prison. He looks very different, like older, and he also talks about the things that he did in a very different way. About his high IQ, that was more like a little bit funny part of this more recent interview. He says that he's like very much into mathematics now, and he thinks that he figured out what prime numbers are. He didn't really say what he figured out, but he made some like great discovery about prime numbers, and he would, if he would talk to a mathematician, then they would just totally understand it and change the rules of mathematics. And I don't know, he was just like bragging about this great discovery that he made in
delusions
prison.
of grandeur or something too at this point. Like fucking hell. I just
that was weird. I didn't even.
This was his original bragging about topic, not violence.
Because in the newer interview, he talks about how he has been going to a psychologist, to therapy for a long time, and that totally made him realize that he was like what he did before was horrible, and like it really helped him reflect on how his way of thinking about human life and just like life in general was wrong, and he's like he already these murders are haunting him, and he already kind of regrets everything, but he's not going to apologize, or he's not going to ask for forgiveness from the families of the victims because he knows that he doesn't deserve forgiveness. And like it has a very different vibe.
Maybe this is now a new strategy.
Because I mean, he should be up for parole soon because it's been 30 years.
He was.
Yeah.
So in 2020, he became eligible for parole.
But I thought that was 30 years after 1995 because there was the 5 years added on, right? Or for the assault of the prisoner.
Yeah.
Which would mean it would be this year.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that was like he did something and that added 5 years because he had another review in 25.
Okay.
So I wonder if that was kind of related to.
I just looked at his picture. He looks creepy.
Which one? The current picture or old picture?
He's bald. He has kind of like serial killer glasses.
Yeah, those are the new pictures.
Oh God. Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
There are some older pictures of him too.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure when the 5 years were added. Maybe it was added in 25 or in 2020 because his application was denied. And then he had another review in 25. And that's how actually this case came up to me because this year he was in the news again that he is up for parole. And then, that you get these clickbaity news articles that is he going to be released now and like back to society. Yeah. But they evaluated that. The parole board evaluated that he poses a continued risk of violent behavior, and the psychological assessments indicated lack of true remorse.
Yes,
so
I would agree.
It was denied.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
In this newer interview, he also talks about his father, and he actually says that he murdered his own father. Though he was not sentenced for that, and I don't think this was proven. But he tells this story that when he was already married to his wife and they had a daughter, his daughter was a few years old, and they had this Christmas dinner at his father's place. And as they were leaving, his daughter went to his father, so her grandfather, and said, like, wanted to hug him or something, said something nice to the grandfather. The grandfather picked her up, spat in her face.
What?
And said that, like, take this little shit away from me or I will, do something to her. So he got like very angry with his father. Like, this is his own words. And they sent his wife and the daughter home. And then he went back to the house with his father, locked the door, broke the key into the door and murdered him. And then...
And never got caught. Like... Someone must have found the father dead at some point.
Yeah.
And being like, just a natural death. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently that was for some reason not investigated. I'm not sure how he killed him. Could it be that, he was an old guy? It wasn't an obvious murder. So the police was just like, yeah, he died, whatever.
I don't
know.
I always question this too, because usually when you have a grandparent, they treat the grandkids better than they treat their own kids, I think.
Yeah.
Like, generally speaking. So I think, I don't know, was he just looking for an excuse or something? Maybe I
don't know. It could be that his father was just...
I don't know.
Might be. We don't know. So this is just something that he tells in this interview.
Yeah.
Really, like, not proven.
Yeah.
Kind of like, why would he like... Because he also says that I had a really bad childhood. I know that serial killers always use this as an excuse. I don't want to use it as an excuse.
But
it did contribute to that I became like this.
Yeah.
And then he talks about his father. So I don't know. We don't really know. But yeah, people are skeptical. He was not released. And he actually said that... his next review, for some reason, is scheduled to 2027. Ooh. But the chances of release are extremely low. And he said that he doesn't expect to be released either.
Good. Like, could you imagine being his neighbor?
Yeah.
As a woman, living alone or something?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I have.
That's all.
That was a creepy and sad story. Yeah. I mean, the only positive thing is that he's in jail.
Yeah.
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 And this felt that the police at least was doing a decent job.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they wouldn't end up to the sand quarry. Like, of course, it's like if you have someone missing, it's just impossible to find them without any clues. And then they were able to find them after the call, if that was connected. But yeah.
Yeah. But what a fucking narcissistic psychopath. I think technically, isn't he a psychopath, right? No remorse. Like,
well, now he claims that after years of therapy, he's a changed person.
No, I don't. Like, you can't really personality disorder. You can't really change that, right? I mean,
even if he, like changed a little bit in a good direction, I don't think he should be released. Like, this is just too bad. And I didn't even tell you all the details about how he murdered those people and what.
I can just imagine what he did with scissors if he did a sexual assault and
Oh yeah, well, actually, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
In the first case, there was also some comments about the scissors. And
I can imagine. Like, based on other cases we've covered or cases I've listened to, I can just imagine the depravity that he would, inflict upon somebody. But
yeah, so this was bad. And yesterday, when I was writing the notes, I also listened to the more recent interview with him when he talks about like his current way of thinking. And Petty was sitting next to me and he listened to some parts and he was like so outraged and he didn't even know any other parts of the story.
One thing though, I just need to know, like, for the love of God, I hope there's no women who have like contacted him and he's like married in jail or something. That would be the fucking worst thing.
I don't think he is married in jail. I haven't seen anything about that. Because I'm sure there are some weird people who send him love letters.
Yeah. Oh God.
But I feel like this guy, like what he did, is just like kind of almost the worst that you can get.
It's like the most depraved. It's just because he likes it. It's not because he, not out of, I accidentally murdered somebody or I needed to murder them for like necessity or, it's,
And he brags about like, the first one was not for pleasure because, he claims that he wanted to kind of punish his sister-in-law for being a teenager, right? And then it was just so great that then he became a pleasure killer.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works, but yeah.
Yeah. So did you find any younger pictures of him? Do you want to see how he looked like?
No.
There's some crime scene photos where the police took him back to the sand pit and he was standing there. Let's see.
Oh, there's another dude. Oh, is this name like super common or something?
It's not uncommon.
Because there's like a scientist on Wikipedia and Hungarian American scientist, and I'm like, that's not him. He looks.
Put this in the chat. If you Google him this way, you should find pictures.
Oh yeah, okay. The city helps.
Yeah, true. I always fuck up the order of the names too.
I mean, that doesn't really matter, probably.
I guess I get more English results.
Sorotsat Kylkos.
Sorozatgyilkos.
Is that serial killer?
Serial killer.
Mayushaban. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, in May of a certain year, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he started his
1994
crime series in May of 1994. Was it May? Was it not March? But I mean, it was May. But he was also in prison before for robbery, so it wasn't.
He looks completely different, like from the...
Right?
Wow.
Like if you really look at him now, you can kind of see that the face is the same.
Yeah, like the nose maybe is the same. But wow.
And also in the second row, or I don't know which row it is for you, but there's this other picture of him in prison with a beard, already bald, a little bit chubby, with like a necklace thing. That's also him, and he looks so different.
Whoa, yeah. They try to blur out his eyes.
Yeah, but
he has the same T-shirt though. He has the same T-shirt and like.
Well, that's a prison uniform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm like, fuck, I like that T-shirt.
I also thought it's just
I love Houndstooth. Yeah, I love hounds.
Well, I guess if you go to prison in Hungary, you can get one.
Oh god, maybe I don't walk around with big houndstooth like that because I would be like, "Ooh, this is so cool. I would actually wear this."
I wouldn't notice if I saw an escaped prisoner in Hungary. I would
Yeah,
be just
I
like,
wouldn't. I'm like,
oh,
that's
very cool design.
yeah.
I don't know if it's in every prison or what.
Wow.
And you can also see the victims. There's this new, like scanned like newspaper article where you can see them. And here, I don't know if you found that it says to the last victim in the row, like she looks super young, and it says she was 13.
Yeah. It's it's a sad world.
But maybe just to have the first names here. So that sister-in-law's first name is Kristina. Then the second victim was Hajnalka, and the last two, the joggers, were Adrienne and Zsuzsa. Yeah. It's such a horrible case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Piece of shit.
Also, it's just so somehow when you read the articles, there's a little bit about his childhood, that he had a horrible childhood and he had some crimes and he had this kind of like violent personality, like very like tyrant like in his family. And then his first murder, he decided to murder his sister-in-law. It's just so like escalated so quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like there must have been other stuff between that, like, right?
I mean, he had violent crimes. He doesn't really, or at least in the articles that I've seen, I haven't really seen him talk about how he was already kind of fantasizing about killing people before that. Because that would maybe make sense if something like that happened. But what he said is just that, well, that was not for pleasure. It was kind of a punishment. And then it turned into something else, which is like, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, like this Killer Psyche podcast that I mentioned earlier, then she was saying this, the person that does that podcast, saying that generally serial killers start in their 20s, like late 20s or something like that, like generally. So
well, he fits that.
Yeah, he fits the scheme there. The curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
there's some more serial killer cases that I might bring at some point. But I think this guy is kind of considered as the most brutal, most horrible one in Hungary, and also kind of recent, because at least the other case that we discussed in episode 2, that was bad, but it was a longer time ago. So it's easier to be like a little bit more detached from it, and this is a lot more recent. So
I think the part that gets me that's so heinous about it is that he's so flippant. And so like I just love it. It's just like my favorite thing to do. Like I would just like almost like I would bathe in the blood of my victims if I could, kind of aspect to it. Like I'm sure he kind of just wants to say stuff to get a rise out of people. Like more stuff.
But it's so weird because nowadays in this, where you see him with the glasses and bald, that was from the newer interview, he acts completely differently.
Yeah, I think it has to be something with the parole, because like there's nobody changes that much, especially a guy like this. I don't think you're psychologically going to change. Maybe your strategy will change in order to get more sympathy or whatever you want from people. I think that's the result that he's looking for, is just getting what he wants, right?
Even if he did change a little bit, he still comes across as a narcissist. Like even in that interview where he's talking about his big discovery with prime numbers.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to this horrible case.
Thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you for.
Should I do another one next time? Because apparently I skipped one.
Yeah, sure. No, you don't need to. I
maybe it was because now it was like Laura, me, and then Viktória. So
then
maybe we should just start with Laura.
Yeah, I'll be covering the second Laser Man anyway.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Back to
but should
we
then go back to the actual order? And
what was this? Not the actual? Ah, no.
It should be Laura,
Laura,
you
me.
and me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can do it.
Does anyone care?
No.
Listeners, tell us. Do you care?
It's just us. I think who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a comment that you fucked up the order. How dare you?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't started to investigate, but I do have a case that I will present from the magazines that I brought.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So,
new Japanese cases.
Case. Woo!
Yeah. Maybe I should start it already because,
Yeah, I need to start mine. Okay, well, we know that it'll be Laserman number 2. Cool. All right.
So
thank you for this. Yes. Thanks for listening, people out there. Yes, you out there who is currently still listening. If you're still listening, you can follow us on Instagram. You can send us an email at translationmurderpodcast@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe to this wherever you're listening to this podcast. And
you can leave comments too.
Yes,
under
please
the
leave
episodes,
comments.
apparently.
And we'll
nice
laugh at
ones.
them. We'll laugh at them if they're really funny, or if they're mean, we'll still laugh at them like we did.
And I mean, constructive feedback is welcome.
Is good.
If you're like, I really want you to follow the order.
Yeah.
Because it makes it easier
Stick
to listen.
cases that were not covered in English.
Yeah.
How dare you talk about anything else?
Yes.
Or like, please, could you sometimes talk about something nice?
Yeah. I mean, that's what animal facts
animal facts.
Animal facts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We still need to talk about the Hyrax, so maybe we can save that for the next news tension.
Yes. Hyrax. Yes. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
Listening. Bye. Hei parolla.
Bye.